That's just sports, baby.
Crowd goes wild. Strawberry ice, bringing fire and style. Reds, Bengals, Bearcats, all in my zone. This is my stage, my mic, my throne. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's line is kicking down the door. Step into the ring where the passion ignites. Talking sports all day and all night. From the field to the court to the roaring stands. Strawberry ice with the world in my hands. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's line is kicking down the door.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Iceman Jeff Trunapole, and as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio. And as always, I'm coming to you live from the Ice Cave.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Party Lawn and Landscape for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paper patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping required. Think Party Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and More. I got it in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and More. The website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also, shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. And tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
That's right. Come on down this Sunday, and you can use my promo code pregame10 to get you $10 off. Now, we also are doing a giveaway. If you have not heard that, we're giving away this T. Higgins autographed helmet. We're giving it away on the November 23rd event. The way to enter is go to Moorline Lager House Facebook page or the website and be part of their group there. And you can also double your chances by getting a ticket to the pregame experience. So again, use promo pregame 10 to get your tickets for the all-inclusive experience this Sunday. And you could have a chance to win this T. Higgins autographed helmet. What is up to everybody in the chat? We got Stranger in there. We got Brandon in there. We got Tony Blazin'. All right. So we just had some news that just popped up. The Ben Baby put out and Adam Schefter put out. Logan Wilson has reportedly requested a trade. Now, I just found this out right before the show went on, about 8 seconds before the show went on. And the man who broke the story to me is none other from Bengals and Brews. He's Dustin Crow. What's up, Dustin?
What up, Ice? How's it going, man?
Good, man. Are you a little surprised that Logan Wilson is requesting a trade? I kind of am a little bit, but not really.
Yeah, it's kind of mixed, kind of like yes and no. I guess like when it comes to these types of trade requests these days, you get so many of them, you just don't know what's like real or what's not. Now, the fact that over obviously the last couple of weeks, his snap count has decreased. Now, he did play a little bit more last week.
He played more, Thursday,
Yeah, like 40% or something. And it looked like he was taking on to being a mentor, but might have looked at the game plan for this week. Right. Was like, I'm back off the field. Like, this is not going in the direction that I predicted and, what I was paid for. Or, obviously there were some articles put out by like Jeremy Fowler this week and whatnot that had mentioned Logan Wilson as a potential trade candidate that's out there.
I did a little video reel on it too. It's gotten a lot of views on it, talking about potential trade.
I saw that. Yeah, that's good.
But hold that thought there. Let's get to our next guest because he comes on every Thursday. And I got Dustin on because Robert flew in from San Diego, California. He brought all the nice weather in. He's like, what the hell? Why is it not warm here? I said, it's almost November. What do you expect? It's not supposed to be like warm here. We don't live in San Diego. We live in Cincinnati, Ohio. But anyway, Robert Baker from Fantasy Bankroll. He's here for all your fantasy football questions. What's up, Bake?
What's up, guys?
All right, so I bring you in on this before we get to fantasy talk here. Were you surprised with the Logan Wilson want to be traded news? What's your thoughts on this whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, same thing you guys were saying. I mean, I could see it coming, like you said, right? You want to play. You're a football player. You want to play. You know those opportunities they're not there for a long time. So he's seeing the writing on the wall, and he's like, like you said, maybe looked at the game plan this week and was like, all right, I'm okay mentoring if I'm playing, but
Right.
It looks like I'm going to just be clipboarding it.
Clipboarding it. Well, and that he might be doing that this week. Like I said, we played some last week, but not so much this week. I actually brought this up yesterday with John Sheeran as to what could we get for him. Now, he is still a productive player. Whether he's lost a step or not, he still is a productive player. He knows where he's supposed to be and stuff like that. And at first, I'm like, I don't think we can get a whole lot for him. But then I always go back to the BJ Hill trade where he traded Billy Price and got BJ Hill. I don't know we stole BJ Hill from the Giants. But do you guys think there's a safety out there, a defensive end? What? Yeah, exactly. What pick is Logan worth? What trade do you guys think he's worth? Go ahead, Dustin.
Go ahead, Dustin.
I definitely think there's going to be a team out there that is thin at linebacker. You kind of think, San Francisco lost Fred Warner for the year. And then you also got to look at scheme fit, things along those lines. So I do think there's probably a handful of teams that could use linebacker. I think it's going to be ones that are obviously, having some kind of contending, because if not, they're going to be sellers, not buyers. So it's really going through the list of the NFL teams that are out there to see which one are actually buyers, and then digging into their rosters. Since this came so fast, it's like really hard to predict where that would be. So I do think there's a market there. I don't know, if it's a player for player swap, a player for pick. This might force the Bengals' hand at just grabbing a pick back and not player for player. I just don't know. At this point in the season, where we've already seen a lot of injuries and things along those lines, what quality player are you going to get in return for Logan Wilson too? So I don't know.
Right. That's where I first thought that yesterday, but then they have pulled him off before. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'd love to get a safety, but then again, what if one of these guys get injured? And we don't have Logan Wilson. So that's where I go back and forth with this. Robert, what do you got on this?
Yeah, the injury thing is always a concern for me when you give up somebody who you're trying to replace, right? And they still have the experience, and then something happens and you're like, oh, well, we shot ourselves in the foot.
Right. We should cut him.
Yeah, it's like we could have had him. But then also you can't sit around and hope for it or think about injuries like that. So
right.
I agree with that thinking, but I think the BJ Hill comparison is a hard one to make, because that was such a right before the season started, when those teams are kind of looking to get rid of some players that are on the fringe, and it just happened to be that perfect storm where they were like, we got too many tackles and we need, a center guard, whatever you think Billy Price could have done. And we got this guy we're going to cut. So I don't think that was just so lucky. Like you said, we stole him from him.
Stole him. Yeah.
And like Dustin said, it came so quick. I think you'd have to take a look and see who's still in that area of competing and not being a seller. So I think just looking at picks, I would say at least maybe a 5th or 6th rounder, right? I mean, if somebody needs somebody, that would recomp the trade for Flacco. Yeah. So
yeah,
at the very least, if you're doing anything.
Yeah. The other note on this too is he's only in the second year of a 4-year, $37.5 million too. So there would have to be kind of like somebody taking on that salary or us eating a little bit of it in the trade. So that might lower the value. I don't know. It's tough when you look at the contract, and obviously Logan's, by football terms, in linebacker terms, maybe a little bit on the older side. It's just kind of like what team is really desperate that is in contention, what needs that veteran leadership. So yeah, that's a tough one to predict of what's up.
I mean, I think you're spot on with the 49ers. I mean, that's one for sure.
Yeah.
That we know that they need a linebacker off the top of my head. Now I know Natty Ronan's in there saying that can we trade Cam Taylor-Britt as well, but I think there's more value in Logan Wilson than Cam Taylor-Britt because Logan, I think, is getting benched more for just a younger player. Cam's still a young guy. He's just getting benched because he just hasn't been playing good. And he says I wish we could get Simmons. I would love to get him too. You ain't getting Simmons for Logan Wilson. We're getting Simmons. We're giving up a first-round pick or second-round pick or something like that to get him, I think. What do you think it would take to get Simmons there, Dustin?
A lot. Yeah. I don't. That's a tough one. I know there's going to be a lot of movement over the next couple weeks too. Like even for the Bengals because you want to win these games, and we know how the Bengals are with trades and the trade deadline and so on and so forth. So it's really hard to kind of predict. Maybe there is the ability with a new coaching staff, like, hey, maybe they even want to get even more younger,
Right.
And wanting to, ship off Logan Wilson, or do we look at it as like, hey, we need to fill a safety need because Geno Stone's struggling, and that whole room.
To me, that's the one that's scaring me the most. I know we gotta get pressure on the quarterback, but Stone is just not playing good. And I don't get why they don't play my boy Tyson Anderson. Why don't they give him a shot? I mean, is he playing that bad in practice or what? I know you guys don't know the answer to that, but I'm just curious. Stone's, you're making a change with Logan Wilson. You might be starting 2 rookie guards this week. Why is Stone still? Why is Stone getting as many snaps as he is? Why can't Tyson Anderson get any snaps?
I think that's what you said, right? Something's got to be happening that we're not seeing, right? And that's why they're not making any changes there. And it's scary to think because we're watching and we're like, Geno Stone, what are you doing, bro? Like, why are you just floating in between 2 players instead of trying to put yourself in good position?
His angles are awful. His angles
horrible, man. So that just asks, like, I love Tyson Anderson, but you're like, okay, what are we not seeing, right? So, and then on the Cam Taylor-Britt, I think other teams see what our coaches have seen. Like, he kind of freelances. He does the opposite. You can clearly see it as a fan sometimes that he looks like he's doing something different than the entire defense. So if we're seeing it and the coaches are benching him for that, that's what I think makes it so hard to trade for him, because we call somebody and we're like, hey, we got Cam Taylor-Britt, and they're like, yeah. So? Is he going to do what we asked? You're not even playing him. And we know he's super athletic. So if he's super athletic and you're not playing him, then like, do we want to deal with that headache?
True.
It's almost like we're in a secret rebuild while we're in, a window of contention, maybe. It's like one of those things where it's like pretty clear we're moving
to the young guys, definitely on the defensive side of the ball. But I mean, that's what I complained about last year, that Lou wouldn't do that, because we did have so many guys that were getting older and weren't producing. So I'm like, we got these guys that we drafted. I wanted to see them out there, not necessarily all at the same time. It would have been nice to bring a couple up last year and see what we got. Now, the one that I'm really hoping does really well on Sunday, and if he does, it's really going to help our pass rush, is Shamar Stewart. And I know he didn't do so hot against the Steelers, but he hadn't played. I'm going to make an excuse for him. He hadn't played in 4 weeks. He only practiced for a month before that. He's come back from an ankle injury. I still think, and for the first game and a half, I was impressed with the disruption he made. And I think if he can get back at least to where he was before he got hurt, and you get hopefully a somewhat healthy Trey Henderson, we're gonna make some noise against the Jets on Sunday as far as a pass rush goes. Am I crazy, Dustin?
No, I mean, we absolutely need it, right? Because we've invested 2 first-round picks on one. Miles Murphy had some flashes here or there, but just hasn't hit. And then Shamar Stewart had a solid first game. Jacksonville went out in the third quarter. Prior to that, he wasn't really doing much in that game. So, with this youth movement, we are getting them experience and snaps, but we also need them to come along quick. It's kind of interesting. I was listening to, a Buckeye fan here. They were interviewing Matt Patricia today on a podcast, and he was talking about like how much he enjoys college and how much he enjoys mentoring and actually developing. His thing with the pro game was you got to tell these players like what to do once, and then you got to let them go because you don't have time for it. So we need these guys to contribute and contribute fast because we're coming up on the halfway point of the season. If they're not showing us something over the next 3 to 4 weeks, it's like hard to count on them for the season to make it.
Well, that's the thing too, is if they don't step up, we're kind of screwed. We don't have anybody else, right? Right, Robert?
Yeah, it's like you said, we're doing we're doing a Bengal rebuild, so we're trying to do it without like actually doing it. So you're like, our depth isn't there. But our depth it hasn't been there in how many years now have we said we need depth here or here? It's like we have depth in one spot or two spots, and then they're severely lacking in other spots. And I feel like that's the biggest thing. And that goes back to the draft though, for all of our complaints that we've been talking about, safeties and linebackers and linemen and all that. So yes.
All right. So we got our first fantasy question here. We haven't gotten into that yet, but he says help. So I want to hurry up and get this answered for him. Help, flex spot open. Dono start. J.K. Dobbins or Camille Vidal. Am I reading that right?
Kamani Vidal.
There you go.
I think it's Vidal. That's how I've been saying it. Vidal, I hope so. If not, I'm saying it wrong. For the Chargers, yeah. Especially with Hassan Haskins being out now. So he's going to get all the run, and he was kind of the darling anyway. So, you know what? Hold on. Let me go back to my matchups. I had some notes up here for it. Let's see here. I don't have all my normal notes up in front of me, like when I'm at the house.
He's in his car. He just got
sorry.
back in town, so. I'll throw
let's see.
I'll throw you another one here from him. Also, I have DJ Moore and Mike Mims and Kelsey. M. Mims, I guess.
Mike. Oh, yeah, no, from Denver. And Kelsey. Those are tough ones right there because Broncos got the Cowboys this week. So that's always, when you've got a team going against the Cowboys because their defense has been so I want to lean there, but Kelsey's been doing pretty good too. So I think either one of those is a good lean on there. I'd probably lean Kelsey just because Nick's has been up and down for me sometimes. I know he came back last week, but he looked like crap to start the game. So now get back to that first question. It was Vidal and who else? I'm sorry.
Let me roll back up here again. There he is.
J.K. Dobbins. That's who it was.
Yep.
Oh, I would go J.K. Dobbins personally. I know Vidal is been kind of getting the run for the Chargers, but the Chargers are going against the Vikings, and the Vikings D has been a lot better, even though they didn't look like it last week after I called them out, and then they look like crap. So, and J.K. Dobbins has been playing pretty tough, and then, like I said, he gets the Cowboys this week. So anybody that's playing the Cowboys or the Ravens so far this year, just keep churning them in your lineup, man, because for some reason they're not stopping anybody.
I got another one here, more a statement, I guess. The Lurch, I think he says, am I crazy? I told my sister to play Woozier, or not Dunze, I get it right, instead of Vidal, and then went to show her player comparison tools, and most of them said Vidal. Laughed my ass off, blew my mind. So,
I think so. When you do the comparison tools, sometimes they're going to look at receivers. They tend to have a bigger variance in their weekly scoring because they have to catch the passes right, whereas the running back's just getting the ball handed to them. So a lot of the times those comparison websites they'll tend to lean, if it's close, they'll tend to lean towards the running backs more because they're going to get the touches right in their hands. They don't have to work hard. If the quarterback's off, you can still turn and hand the ball off to the running back. So I think Vidal still has a good week. I just think that he's got a tougher matchup. And Ndunze is going against the Bears got the Ravens. So what I just say about the Ravens, unless they changed a lot during their bye week, I don't see how you don't play because they're the worst team against fantasy receivers. They're second against running backs, and that's only because the Bengals suck. So,
the Bengals don't suck. Hush.
Hey, I've sat here. I've been calling it out every week. I even put myself on the line because I was hoping I would reverse jinx them, and they still didn't. I'm like, but yeah. So I think the matchups. That's always what I'm looking at, especially this week because there's the most teams on bye this week. There's 6 teams on bye this week, which is the most of any week in the season. So you really got to play on your matchups this week. So I like Odunze. It's always tough though when I'm talking receiver to running back comparison because I need to see what your other running backs and other receivers look like and what your flex spots. So then, if you don't have any running backs and you need to play Vidal, then that obviously is going to make a big difference too.
So Dustin, you a fantasy football guy?
Yeah. I'm not as involved as Robert there is. You're not part of like some under the ground NBA gambling scheme powered by the Italian mafia, are you?
Got illegal poker games going on.
I wouldn't be driving home in Cincinnati in a Malibu. I would be in a limo getting dropped
Shoveled
off on my
off.
helipad.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick to jump in. Do you heard that they were running like a poker
Yeah.
gamble scheme too?
Yeah.
What is going on, man?
And
You're already
it's
making so much money.
Supposedly something to do with connected to the mob too, or something like that.
Yeah.
The Nostra Costa or whatever, Nostra Costa, the Italian mob.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's like a movie.
Well, they were separate incidents. There was the poker thing, and there's also illegal gambling. So they busted. The FBI got on involved in both counts. It's just not a great look for the NBA.
No, I'm wondering when it's going to come out that they were fixing games. That's the next thing. You get in with the mob, dude. Hey.
People already started breaking down old video games. Like I've already seen them out there where like somebody threw a pass away and they're like, "Oh."
Yeah. It's with the gambling. You always got to keep an open eye like what's going on. The NBA's been notoriously known for that.
They had a ref.
Yeah, the ref.
Jail.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, give us 20 years and then we'll go back and do it again.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
The Lurch said she's starting Jamar Chase, Drake London, Rasheed White, Camp Scattaboo, who I still wish the Bengals would have drafted. Odunze Vidal would be flex player. LO Ravens defense is why I said Odunze, but also forgot Haskins is out. So I got some more. You got add to that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in that, I would probably play Vidal in that one too, just because, like I said, I'll tend to lean running backs as well too, because they're going to get the ball. If Caleb is off, right, then that affects Odunze. But if Justin Herbert's off, he's just still can turn and hand the ball to Vidal. So your lineup looks pretty good. So when it comes to me, I'm always, if I have somebody who's a decently high scoring running back, I'm always going to put them in. And he seems he's a good receiver too. So that's, if you're at PPR and you got a receiving running back, that's chef's kiss, man.
Yeah. He said her top two running backs are both injured, all on injured reserve. That sucks. And by the way, if you guys really want more of this information, go check out Robert's YouTube channel. Go ahead, Rob. Tell everybody where they can follow you at.
Yeah, Fantasy Bankroll. I'm posting on there. I'm a little bit behind this week because of the travel, but Tuesdays Monday or Tuesday I'm usually putting up my waiver wire, and then by Friday, maybe Saturday morning, I'm going to have my what I call my bullish bearish or my start and sit 'em list. So yeah, come give me a follow. Shoot me those roster questions, and I'll get back to you with some answers, and we'll do a deep dive and we'll get some wins for you. Let's win some championships.
Championship. Ronnie here. He says, wait, is Jackson back? Lamar Jackson did practice today. So, yeah, there's a probably good chance he's going to play. But, I mean, they lost with Lamar. I mean, that's where I'm like, oh, Lamar's back. I'm like, they lost with Lamar. I mean, what has Lamar missed? What, 2 games? How many has Lamar missed?
Yeah, 2 and a little bit more than 2 and some, yeah.
Yeah,
and he was playing. I didn't look his stats up, but he's like 14 touchdowns and only one pick. So he's playing. He's playing good. So yeah, like he's coming back.
He's not the problem. Their defense sucks. And Dustin, I want to bring this up with you. And we talked about this when the Steelers made the trade. They traded Mika, which I thought was stupid for trade for Jalen Ramsey. I said that when they did. I said Jalen Ramsey. I said Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are going to cook him, which they did Thursday night. You can go back to the tape. I said it back then. Mika Fitzpatrick is one of the best safeties. I said everything. Oh, their defense got better. I'm like, how? How did their defense get better? And the Steelers defense looks like ass right now.
Yeah, I mean, their defense fell off towards the end of last year, right? And maybe some of the age started to show. Like your veterans get maybe worn down towards the end of the year because they just been doing it for so long, and you try to spot them. And then they just got older in the secondary too. So I just, it's not a shock to me. I know you and I have been talking about it. I think they are a defense that can take advantage of mid-level quarterbacks because they have the ability to get pressure still. I mean, the Nick Herbig kid, he's a good player. Like TJ Watt can still cause some disruption. But on the back end, yeah, they have not been like whenever Mika's not been on the Steelers, they definitely have not been the same in the second.
Oh, he made a huge difference. He changed their defense. That's what I'm like. Well, I mean, I'm glad they did it because I thought they were stupid for trading them. I mean, it made them worse. And I'm like, I'm watching the experts, so-called experts on TV, like, oh, the Steelers are back. I'm like, wow. I'm like, you're like, Jalen Ramsey can play this. I'm like, he sucks at all three of them. I'm like, that's not going to be any better. I'm like, anyway, I like it when I'm right, but it's still mind-numbingly just stupid when people thought they were going to be better. I'm like, how?
Well, I think they are a team to look out for. Like if we're wanting to trade for a corner, I could see them doing something too, because Steelers do get active in the trade market. So
they're going to try to do so. I mean, to be honest, Bengals, Steelers, and Ravens all should do something. Because this division is wide open. It's still open for all three of us. I mean, the Browns are the only one really don't have a shot. So yes, and I will be shocked if the Bengals trade, but with Logan Wilson saying he wants to be traded, so maybe that Rashard Genty's in the house. What's up, brother? Yeah, look, we don't know why. With Logan come out and saying that he wants to be traded now, that might open the door for the Bengals going, all right, well, we weren't going to, but now let's see what you guys offers for Logan, and maybe and I really hope it's a player. I mean, I want, and I don't know if you get an impact player, but like I said, can we get a safety? That's what I want. Like we need, a free safety? That's what we need to get.
Yeah, and there's still Chauncey Gardner out there. There's still Justin Simmons. I mean, I know those guys are kind of, I don't know. That's a tough one because it's we just need a guy that's just like in the right place at the right time. Like Geno Stone was just so out of place, which is unfortunate because he kind of ascended last year a little bit towards the end of the year. And he had a couple good games, but man, you just see too much inconsistency from the safety play. I think it's really stammering what Al Golden likes to do on defense. He likes to get aggressive and play man. We're barely blitzing this year, and we're playing like.
Are you surprised about that? I thought we blitzed more, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it kind of shows he knows that we don't have a pass rush. So it's like if we're not going to get there, why expose your secondary?
Just drop everybody back.
Yeah, you might just drop everybody back, and that's clearly what he's doing. I don't know, Robert, if you're seeing the same thing, but
Yeah, no, I think he's the same thing. Not as much blitzing as we thought. And in his scheme, and Notre Dame and stuff. We were talking. Obviously, he's not going to be able to do man at that kind of same percentage that he was doing last year. So I think it's just same thing, like you both said. I think it just more speaks to the fact of he's done the analysis of the defense and realizes where he can and can't take advantage of it right now. And he's like, I have to pick the blitzes at the right time because if not, it's really putting the pressure on that back end. And I think that's where the safety really, like if we had Jesse Bates back there and you could gamble a little bit more and trust that,
right,
that coverage, like his angles and you like he's reading his play recognition so much better.
Dax Hill is a great blitzer off the edge, but I'm too afraid to send him because of how our secondary looks with what we have.
Yeah,
and the linebacker, like where we struggle too, and like we've always. But for years, we've been talking about the same thing, right? We struggle underneath with that coverage, right?
Yeah.
Letting either linebackers just curl or the running backs get a little flat route drop off. So if you bring that in, now someone's got to pick up, and then that leaves wherever that extra person is.
Right. Kevin's got a point there. He's dropping back, but they ain't covering nobody.
Well, yeah. Like our safeties have been exposed. I mean, that Matthew Golden play, Green Bay schemed that up perfectly because, I think we're playing like a quarters drop and they knew that like in his responsibility battle was going to have to be all them because, the good offensive coordinators are going to figure out ways to isolate Geno and battle and coverage. So how Al Golden has to respond to that is drop more people in coverage. And then he knows that we're not getting much pressure with our front four, but it's like you got to kind of pick and choose your battles, unfortunately. I mean, you can gamble and blitz a lot, but then if you can't cover people, you're just going to give up like 50-yard touchdown passes.
Right. And let's be honest, we're going against the Jets here. They shouldn't have to gamble. I mean, the Jets don't have a very good offense. They don't have anybody to throw the ball to. Tyrod Taylor is a capable quarterback, but he is a backup. So, I mean, he's never really been a starter if for any length of time in his career. He's a career backup. So the Dark Knights.
Well, we got lucky. We got lucky this week too because we don't got no Garrett Wilson to face, so that's good.
And Sauce is out too.
Oh, I didn't see that. Is he? Oh,
yeah, well,
shit. And then Mason Taylor was hurt today. They said he's most likely going to play, but I mean he's been coming through for him too. So it's going to be Breece Hall and then Breece Hall. So
that's it.
Yeah,
Dark Knight cracked me up here. He said I would laugh if the Browns would trade us Ward for CTB. I crack up laughing. I don't think the Browns are going to get us two things there.
You know, what's funny about the Browns is they have by far the best defense in the division.
By far.
If they just had a damn quarterback, holy hell, you know.
My wife's a Browns fan, so we always joke, and she goes, our powers combined, we would be unstoppable. And I'm like, it's really true. Like, you guys can build a defense, and we can build an offense. Is there any way that our franchises just don't hate each other?
Well, apparently they don't because they made a trade not that long ago. That was the first trade I think they've. I think Dustin, you commented on the show. It was the first trade they made since the Browns came back in '99. I think you said that. Somebody said that.
Something like that. Yeah, it's just. I mean, interdivisional trades is very rare, you know, for sure.
That's what pissed Tomlin off. That's why Tomlin's like, he's like, Matthew Berry must be smarter than I am to just give Joe Flacco to the Bengals.
Guys, it was payback for fucking up the fax machine. Sorry, for messing up the fax machine with AJ McCarron.
Exactly.
It's a payback. Yeah. They're like, you know what? I heard we messed up a fax machine a few years back.
Right.
Why don't you guys take Flacco?
And I actually think so. It sounds like the Bengals were eliciting a lot of teams and quarterbacks, and like, you know, they picked up the phone and called the Browns, and you know, I don't know, whoever sold it from our side, good job being a salesperson to get Flacco.
Did you see the report that they called Derek Carr?
Yeah.
Oh, they did? No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he said that the Bengals called him and asked him if he'd be willing to come back out, and he said no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that would have been interesting. But I have a question for you guys. Do you think? I'm a yes. Would you want Joe Flacco back next year as the backup quarterback?
100%. I would love to see, like, at the bye week, him in that autograph or that the signing room with the white where they got all the signings in the back.
Yeah.
When they extend their players, him sitting there, because I think his calming presence and his stability, and like, you know, it's pretty clear he operates pretty well in this offense. Now, you know, a couple weeks, you know, teams will get tape, and like he's not going to play like he did against the Steelers all the time. But for the most part, if you can get that guy in your quarterback room, like, take advantage of it.
Right, and that's where I'm hoping Joe Burrow picks his brain and stuff and tries.
That was going to be my point. Is that I think that there's not many backup players you can bring in that Joe's going to take stuff from. Whereas Flacco is one of those, like, even if it's just his approach or how he handles certain situations, there's little bits that I think Burrow will look at him and just say, I mean, he played for since 2008. So 17 years. So like, you've been playing that long, you know, he's definitely not taking anything from Browning. No offense to Browning, but you know, he's just in that room. But Flacco, you know, you can ask him some questions. Hey, how did you handle this when you were Super Bowl playoffs? All that.
Or how do you go under center? Carefree. So maybe Joe Burrow do it sometime. Pork Chop here. He says, I think we should draft a backup quarterback, like a good one, but also keep Joe on the team for veteran presence if we need them a case like this year. I don't disagree with that. Now, I mean, I'm saying like 5th or 6th round, take a quarterback, because there's gonna be a lot of other things we're going to need on this team. But I don't disagree with him there. I think we should be able to get find another quarterback and if you get draft a quarterback to be your future backup, he can learn from Joe Flacco and he can learn from Joe Burrow. So.
Yeah.
My only thing on that is we're only going to have 6 picks again this year. So we just sat here and talked about all the spots we need to fill, and a guy that might be sitting 3rd on the depth chart is going to be a hard sell.
Dude, we got a pick. Wasn't that pick we got back from the Browns? That was the 5th round this year, wasn't it? Or 6th round this year, wasn't it?
I thought it was the 6th. We gave them the 5th, and we got the 6th back, right?
So we got 2 6s, right?
I mean, I guess I would take a 6th rounder, but
well,
I don't know. It's always, for me, is a 6th round quarterback going to do more than potentially hitting on somebody else in the 6th round? Which I know it's a 6th rounder. I'm not saying you're going to hit on him, but that's the biggest question I would be asking.
I mean, the way that some of these quarterbacks in college have performed that were coming in like high ratings, like Drew Aller, Garrett Nussmeier, you may have some guys slip to the middle rounds that you can kind of like take a look at. You know what I mean? Like that at one point were rated high in the quarterback, and now they like obviously have struggled. Maybe there's potential there. Now, again, I don't want to spend a draft pick of that in that kind of the sixth round would definitely be comfortable with drafting a development quarterback. But if a guy does slip, like, and he's a real high end talent, yeah, I don't know. I'd be tempted if you got like 2 4th rounders or something. I don't think Drew Aller or Garrett Nussmeier is going to fall that far, but it's an interesting conversation.
Hell no.
You know? Yeah,
I'd be shocked if either one of them fall. Well, I don't know. I was shocked that Dart fell. I mean, the Giants got Dart. Wasn't he like the 5th round or something like that?
No, he's first.
No, Dart was first rounder.
Yeah.
Dart was the first rounder?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went like 21st or something, 23rd.
Oh, I thought he was later than that. Because okay, so the Giants had 2 first-round picks?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
they were actually surprised. They were surprised they were surprised that the Giants actually took him there.
Well, I was surprised he went so far because he got past Steelers and got past one other team that I thought for sure that they would draft him.
Yeah, well, I mean, you look at the Falcons, like everybody was, up in arms when they took Penix, and I'm kind of up and down on him still. He's got a ways to go, but like the way that Kirk Cousins was performing, they look like brilliant now. You know,
it looked genius at the end of the year.
Yeah,
except for that contract that they signed their backup quarterback to now. Other than that part,
yeah, there's some of that. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, everybody.
When it comes to the draft, I was gonna say when it comes to the draft, I want the Bengals just to do that, like for the majority of their picks. If you see somebody falling that there's, you've got good rating on, let's pull the trigger. Like we talked about that ad nauseum, right? Like all these players falling that we saw, Winston, whoever it might be, freaking what's his name, the other guard from Georgia, Ratledge.
Ratledge. That's what I wanted.
Like you see all these players falling, and you're like, oh,
he was sitting right there. Like all they had to do was pick him.
It's like they overthought themselves and then went with like I'm not crushing any of their picks. I'm saying it's like they went with like, all right, well, we can't decide on the 2 top ones. Let's go with the least of our, it's
to be honest, their picks this year, if they keep panning out the way they look, you got your 2 starting linebackers and potentially 2 starting guards, and your starting defensive end in Shamar Stewart. So their picks don't look, as long as they all pan out right now, they don't look so bad. Go ahead, Dustin.
I was going to say the one that probably has the sore eye right now is D Knight in the 2nd round, because he's like his play has fallen off. And
hey, I think they could have got him in 3rd.
And it's just and the reasoning behind that was like, hey, he's going to hit the ground running. He's an older linebacker,
right?
It seems like he's making mistakes that a rookie linebacker truly would. So it's like that story that they painted on for us for D. And it wasn't like, there was just a lot of players there. And you ended up drafting Barrett Carter anyways, who's probably looking better the last couple weeks than over D Knight. So that's the tough one. I don't mind the rest of their draft. For sure.
Rutledge is the one that pissed me off. That's
yeah.
Well, that now and freaking Nolan I wanted. They took him right before us. Where I can't remember what team it was. Like literally the pick right before us. They took Nolan out of
Panthers. Who took Nolan?
Cardinals.
Cardinals. Yes,
damn
Cardinals. Cardinals. Yes. I was having my draft.
He was injured. He just got activated. So he would have been we would have been pissed about that one too.
Well, I was all over Will Johnson. I thought that was a steal for them, the Cardinals, because he's like down corner. Yeah, he's looked nice. But yeah, that's where it's like Shamar has to perform, or this draft class, you kind of look at it with a different lens now. If he doesn't like step up,
here's another good one. Jeremy says, "Don't give me all that shit." We drafted Miles Murphy with that awesome tight end section. That was that year we had. I thought for sure they had at least 4 or 5 tight ends that I still hear them. They're all over the NFL. I'm like, yep, could draft that guy. Yep, could draft that guy. Yep, could draft that guy. Damn it!
What do you guys think of, like, I don't know, Mike G? It's just kind of one of those things where it's like we extended him. He wasn't doing much. Obviously, he's injured now. It's just like that's another like expenditure there where it's kind of like, could we use that money to get another edge rusher or something? I don't know. It's just like just not seeing the impact there. Again, he's
Oh,
injured.
he definitely has not had the same impact that he did last year.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I would. I mean, like you say, he's injured now. I'll wait to see if he can come back. Because if he tore his pec, which I'm not saying he did, I don't know. All I know is it's a pectoral injury, and he's out for at least 4 weeks. But if he tore his pec, he might not come back.
Yeah.
From that for at least this year. I don't know. So, but if he does come back, and you got to see how he does the rest of the season, and if he still doesn't make an impact, then that might be something to cut your ties with him and get that money to go elsewhere. Because I mean, you still got. I mean, you got Noah. You could resign Noah Fant. I like Noah Fant a lot. I think he's a Tanner Hudson. I've been a Tanner Hudson fan the whole time he's been here.
Mm-hmm.
He does what he does, and it's not spectacular, but he does a good job at it. And he's a good number 2 or number 3 tight end. Noah Fant can be your number 1. And we still got Eric All coming back next year. Hopefully, knock on wood, that he'll be healthy. And if he's healthy, you got him and maybe Noah Fant next year. Mike G might be out. Who knows? We'll see. But this is all next year. We're speculating.
Well, if you kind of peel back the onion layer too, there's a lot of contracts we might be moving off of. Like Logan Wilson could be one. Mike G. I mean.
Well, at this point, I think Logan Wilson, if he's ever requesting a trade, and the thing is, like, I'll put it this way. All right, just put it this way. Say they are going to move on from Logan Wilson at the end of the year. They kind of already planning on that with them, not necessarily benching him, but not playing him and starting Garrett. Now's the time to trade. You're going to get the most value for him, I think, now in the season, because if you can find a team like the 49ers, I cussed my own show, like the Sucky Niners, that need a linebacker. So, I mean, that's, to me, I think you're going to get the most value for him now. I mean, am I wrong on that assessment there? Robert, go ahead.
No, I mean, you're right. I mean, granted, like I just said that, right? The other coaches see what we're doing, right? So they say, hey, you're not playing him, but still, or not starting him, but we're still playing him, right? So he's still got that value there, right? He's still got the experience. He's played in the Super Bowl. He's still athletic. Like Dustin said, he's a little bit of an older man for a linebacker, but I still think that there's some tread on the tire. So now is the time, because if you let him just be disgruntled the whole offseason and then you get into it, teams aren't going to care. You need to strike. You need to find that team that needs a linebacker and that feels that little bit of push.
And if you get something to help your team now, which would be great. I want a player back. I want a freaking safety. That'd be awesome. Dustin, what do you got?
Yeah.
You want a safety, Jeff, or what?
I want a safety. I've always said it like 25 times on this podcast here.
Yeah, that's like secondary was such a concern for me coming into this year because of how CTB has kind of performed since his rookie season. Like his second year, he was okay. So now we have this hole at a cornerback spot, and both the safeties being inconsistent. So like whatever we can.
I mean, now Drago's playing good, and Dax are playing. So we do have 2 good starting ones. It's more of if Fig or somebody could step up and be that slot one. Now I know you got backup players, but those 2. Yeah. I think we have 2 good starting corners right now. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. I think like to your point, if we could just get a safety to just kind of like stabilize that room, even if it's a rental player, I'd be even willing to trade like Logan for just a rental player at the safety position for this year.
I would be fine with it.
And that's where the next 2 weeks will probably dictate a lot of like where we are with that, because obviously like winning these next 2 games forces is a strong word, but it puts you in a position where it's like, okay, we're all in, like we have a chance. Let's go out and make some moves where we can just get some players in place to help stabilize for the rest of the season. Now, I will say the expectations you'll have for a safety coming in mid-year can be kind of tough because, the safety position, you got to learn a lot, lining up players, like scheme.
If Joe Flacco can do it, anybody can do it, okay?
Exactly. And that's where it's like going after a veteran guy that's like been through the wars. That's who I would tend to want to go after.
Yeah,
to help
exactly.
That room. Yeah,
exactly. Now, Stranger here says Logan Wilson for Woodley.
Tariq Woolen. Yeah, we'll take Woolen.
Would that work? Do you think they would take
Well,
that
Woolen for
I know
Seattle,
we would.
He dropped off. He had a much better start to his career too. But if we're like you said, if it's a rental player and he's still playing better than CTB.
Yeah. That is interesting because Mike McDonald would have some familiarity with Logan Wilson because he was the defensive coordinator at the Ravens. So being in the AFC North, maybe he sees some things there. So, I kind of like that idea.
Yeah. All right. Last couple minutes here. I'm going to try to toss it over to Robert here so you can do some of your fantasy football stuff here before Thursday night football starts here because I know people are trying to start people, bench people, get the right defenses on and all that stuff. So who you got? Who you starting? Who you benching?
So let's go. We'll talk about first, like we always do. Let's talk about some of the players that I'm high on this week, and I like Flacco again this week. Before we get into all that too, I think the Jets' defense has been playing good, and if you're going to throw 33 targets towards T and Jamar Chase, good things are going to happen most of the time. So I got him. He's going to be on my bullish list this week too. So, but we're not going to talk about him. I do want to point out Drake May. The Browns. We were talking about the Browns' passing defense hasn't been that good, but rushing defense has been really good. The passing defense hasn't been the best though, and that's where they've been losing their games. And Drake May's been looking like Tom Brady kind of over there for New England. So obviously not Tom Brady, but he's been on fire. So
don't put that on him, Ricky Bobby. Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
I actually said it because I saw a story where they're talking about how he's doing stuff that even Brady didn't do, and I was like, "Oh, they're already doing that for him." Okay, way to set him up for failure on that. So, but yeah, I think he has a good week against the Browns. I think the Browns are obviously the Browns, so they're going to stop the run. So obviously, try to avoid Travion Henderson or Ramondre Stevenson this week because they're on my bullish list because obviously the Browns' deep run defense is top notch, baby. So, but running back that I do like this week, Bijan Robinson. The Dolphins' rush defense sucks. They've been playing like crap, and obviously, Bijan Robinson is all around back, and I love all around backs. If they can catch the ball and get the handoffs that they're normally getting that 15 to 20 carries, and if they're touching the ball 25 plus times a week, that's going to be good for your fantasy team. So, if you've got Bijan Robinson, definitely look to start him. Cortland Sutton going against the Cowboys this week. Obviously, I'm looking for those matchups that we talk about, right? The Cowboys have been scoring points. I think the over/under on that game this week is like 51 points too. So it's going to be a shootout. So there's some points. So I haven't been the biggest fan of Bo Nix, like I said, but I think this week it's that week where it's going to be one of those games, and I think Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton have a good week. So. A good tight end this week, Dalton Kincaid for the Bills. The Panthers' defense has been really good, but the one weakness they've had has been against tight ends, and Dalton Kincaid is I think third. He's third in fantasy scoring going into their bye week. So if they're going to tighten up everywhere else, and I've got Dalton Kincaid, so hopefully for me it's a double win. So that's a couple good tight ends. I'll have the rest of the start list later this week, and a couple players I'm avoiding. Mac Jones out there for the Niners. He's going against the Texans defense. It's been number one against the pass all year. So they had a down week last week. So I say that, and maybe I jinxed them last week too. But Mac Jones, he's been dealing with some injuries, even himself filling in too. So he's been playing good. I'm not trying to put him down, but and then I talked about Ramondre Stevenson on my running backs that I'm avoiding this week because he's playing the Browns, and that's about one of the only things that they've done well this year. So wide receiver. Jalen Waddle going against the Falcons. The Falcons' D has been ridiculous, and obviously there's no Tyreek Hill, and Tua was just throwing the ball to everybody last week. So who knows if Waddle's even going to get a legit pass this week? I
heard a rumor he was going to throw 10 picks today. I think his coach said
that. Hey, last week it looked like he was trying to break that record. Like, who can I?
Hey, you're not on my team. You get a ball. You get a ball.
He opened everybody with the interceptions.
My God.
All right, and then a tight end this week, Jake Ferguson. He's been number one in fantasy all year, but the Broncos D has been pretty good against. Broncos D is pretty good in general, but they've been pretty good against tight ends. So that might be the one time this week or this season that you might want to avoid Jake Ferguson. And CD Lamb's back too. So there's and George Pickens is playing good, and we know what what's the name of the backfield? I just blanked.
Running back.
Ramondre Stevenson got stuck in my head, but
I'm sitting there, I can't even remember his name. I'm trying to help you out.
Oh my God, he was playing for the freaking Broncos last year. But yeah, Williams. He's been playing good, so I think it's one of those. Same thing I said with Sam Laporta, like I think it was last week or the week before. When your offense has got so many players, it's if a player isn't clicking, they just go somewhere else. It's like, hey, you're going to double chase, we're going to go to T. So it's the same thing I think for like the Cowboys and those other offenses. Oh, you're going to double CD, then we'll go to George Pickens or somebody. So yeah, those are some of the players I would start and avoid. I'll have the rest of the list out. It'll be an abbreviated list because I'm on travel, but I'll have the rest of the list out tomorrow or Saturday morning at the latest. So come check out Fantasy Bankroll. Send me your fantasy questions on Twitter at Robert_banker. And yeah, like I said, let's win some games.
Pork Chop said everyone on my bench is on a bye. I have no choice to play my remaining players. Should be a trade.
That's a good week to have, dude. If all of your players are on a bye and it's better than mixing and you're trying to mix and match. I would rather have them all. Now, just don't have, none of your fill-ins in there too. You got to have fill-ins, but give me all of them on 1 week.
Jeremy, I want to know where the hell you're hearing this at, because I would love that. He says, I keep hearing about maybe trading for Sauce. Any truth to that possibility? I hope to God it is. I haven't heard nothing about that at all. I will give them Logan Wilson for Sauce Gardner in a heartbeat.
And a pick.
Yeah, and a pick.
Well,
NCTB. What do you got?
Keep him on ice this weekend, then. Let him rest up if he's going to cover the Bengals. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he's sitting out.
He's got a concussion.
Hey, I can hope, Jeff. He's coming to the Bengals.
It's a concussion. He's in concussion protocol. There's saving him up. By the way, did you guys listen to Jamar Chase's press conference at all? I know Robert, you were in the air, but one thing I thought was cool. You know how when he got drafted, he had all these sticky notes on he wanted to do this and this and this and this. He said he's got one sticky note now, and it's this one: Super Bowl.
Yes.
That is it. That is the only sticky note the man has. That's the only one he cares about. You don't care about Triple Crown. Don't care about nothing. This is where I've said, and I wrote an article about it. I think he should be considered for MVP. He is to this point of the season, he is the MVP for the Cincinnati Bengals, because we are nowhere close to anything of where we're at now, close to being 500 or anything without Jamar Chase. I think Jamar Chase has done an absolutely unbelievable job this year of really wearing the C on his jersey and taking that to heart. I think he's really taken being a captain. That's changed him. I can just tell by the way his demeanor is on the field, the way he's talking in press conferences and stuff like that. Have you guys noticed a change in Jamar?
Yeah, 100%. You know what's funny? And I can relate to this. Something that he was saying about talking to Justin Jefferson, his buddy, and they're like, "Hey, do you guys still talk?" And he was like, "No, we don't have anything we talk about. We're old." It's like I always thinking about like FaceTiming my friends, how we'll just stare at each other and not even say anything.
It's how he did. Like,
yeah. But
I'll see you later.
He talked about Burrow being out and how like his teammates are looking upon him for leadership. So I definitely think there is a lot of maturity there. He feels like he's more at ease this year because he doesn't have to handle the contract situation. So that's nice. I think the same with T. Like T is showing some leadership as well. So man, when you got those dogs on your team and the Trey Hendricksons of the world and whoever else sprouts up on our team, let's lock those guys down and like take care of them, because they're just, they're so impactful for our team and our organization. They're great in the community. Those are the types of guys you want representing your team,
Yeah, and I because I know the national media is like, oh, well, this will be the last year for Trey Hendrickson. They're not going to resign him. Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if they sign him. And I said this before. They could be I can see them doing what they did to T, because they still could tag Trey and say, hey, we want to sign you. We're not letting you get to free agency. We're either going to tag or, we'll tag you, but with the emphasis that it's basically just extend it so we can do the contract negotiation. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. They'll just sign it before it gets to that. But I don't think Trey's going anywhere. I really don't. I think the Bengals are going to re-sign him. Robert, am I crazy? What do you got?
Yeah, no, I could see it for sure. I think it's like you said too. Plus, it's one of those like what we talk about it, right? The defensive ends when you start getting older, right? That's another year, another more tread on his tire, right? So I think there's a better chance than we've thought or people are giving it for him to re-sign back with us. But I did want to go back. Jeremy made a comment real quick about Jamar Chase, and it's exactly what I was thinking. You can see him thinking before he speaks a lot more, right? Like I can see where when he's pissed off or he's mad about something, right? And you can see where he wants to say,
Right.
he's like, you just gotta, you could see the diplomatic response in his come out of his mouth when in his eyes you can see the real response. But that's what a captain's got to do, right? A captain's got to be like, all right, I can't just do this. I've got to speak for everybody, and I've got to be the one to kind of lead even when things are rough. So I've noticed that big time.
There's stuff you say in the locker room, and there's stuff you say to the media, and I think Tua Tagovailoa has figured that out because he opened his mouth and stuck his foot in it. So
yeah, it's his play is dramatically declined. No more tank for Tua anymore.
No, thank God we didn't do that. All right, we got one more fantasy question before we get the heck out of here. Can you read that, Robert?
Yes, sir. Oh, Joe, you got the whole roster there. Okay, let me go.
Who for wide receiver 1, 2, and 3 flex spot? Wide receiver Quentin Johnson, D. Samuel,
Kittle,
K. Poodle, Jay Anderson, Tez Johnson, running back Conkley, MT Henderson, or K. Mongo, tight end Ertz, Kittle, got Jay Jacobs, Taylor, running back.
Jeff, I hope you never have to read my fucking name, buddy. I'm sorry.
I don't want to.
Mondongo, Monja.
Yeah, whatever it is. I don't know.
I don't actually. That was Mananji or whatever it is. Yeah, I saw him for the Bears.
I would say Manutsky.
Manutsky. Yeah. So wide receiver 1, 2, 3, tight end in a flex spot. Okay. So wide receiver 1, I would go with Johnston for sure. Wide receiver 2, I would go with Addison. Flex spot, I would go with Krosky. Go with old Bill on that one. Tight end Kittle. I know he's just coming back, but I don't know. They're both. Ertz has got a backup quarterback throwing to him, and Kittle's got a backup quarterback throwing to him. But I trust Kittle a little bit more, so I'd say that. And then the last receiver. I mean, I want to say Tez Johnson because I called him last year. Or I called him last week and said to play him because I thought he was going to have a good week. It just comes down to Boutte or not. Yeah, I'd say go Johnston, Addison, and Johnson. So Tez Johnson, Quentin Johnston, and Jordan Addison. And then
did you say it comes down to Booty?
Comes down to Boutte, baby.
Boutte, baby.
He's turning it around big time.
Yeah, it's my only thing with him is it's been a good week and then like a disappearing week, and that scares me in fantasy.
True.
Because Hunter Henry's been tearing it up.
There you go. All right, Robert. I think you made it to your destination. I'll let you go get in the house. We're almost an hour into this, so tell everybody where they can follow you at and get and message you their lineups, different questions they got, anything like that. So promote yourself, please.
Yeah, man. Like I said before, Fantasy Bankroll on YouTube. Please come give me a follow. I'm posting at least 2 times a week. I'm posting on Twitter. I post some of the updates on there. Send me your questions. You can DM me on Twitter. You can send a comment on the YouTube post as well. I'm Robert_Banker on Twitter. And then there's Fantasy Bankroll on TikTok as well. I've been trying to use that more, so I need to get it out there. So yeah, shoot me your questions, man. Like I said, we'll figure out the best lineup for you.
All right, Robert.
And I'm not home. I'm actually at Skyline, baby.
Oh, I'm jealous now. God,
fucking gotta stop. First time.
I'm going to Skyline now. Forget that. All right, Rob. Hey, I'll see you on Sunday, brother. Who day?
Thanks, guys. Who day?
I hit the wrong person. I got Dustin out of there. Dustin, I know you're on Bengals and Brews. Plug something for me before I let you go.
Yeah, Bengals and Brews on Mondays and Fridays at 3:30 Eastern time. Something that we're doing a little bit different this year on Fridays. We used to do the over and unders. We're actually doing NFL picks. So if you guys want to throw your kind of picks in there on Fridays and kind of keep track of those, that's pretty fun. So yeah, find us on there, YouTube, Facebook, that sort of thing. And then Dustin Croft on Twitter. Feel free to interact. I love talking to people online and just chopping it up about Bengal stuff.
Yeah, and you got to make sure you figure out something crazy for Greg to do because he's always willing to do something nuts.
Oh yeah, his shirt usually comes off, especially on Fridays.
And the dot bot.
I was thinking about you last night, though, like, quickly before we leave. And
why?
But so, we're hitting that part of the year where you pretty much have football on every night, right?
Yeah.
And who's taking over the Tuesdays and Wednesdays is Conference USA football. And I'm watching it and I was like, oh, how's that conference fallen off since then?
Oh, God.
It's, it's so bad.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going, I'm like, I'm watching. I'm like, so thank God we got out of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a halfway decent conference when we were in, but hell, that's been 20 years ago now since last time the Bearcats were in Conference USA. That was 04. I think it was the last time we were in Conference USA.
A long time ago. Yeah, just you see these conferences that have fallen off in college football, like the Pac-12 and stuff like that, just disappointing. But I was thinking, like, wow, that conference is really bad. Like, let's get to the MACtion on the Tuesdays.
Yes, MACtion is good. I like MACtion. Yeah. Hey, my Bearcats are ranked 21st in the country, baby. I went to the coach's show last night. Or 2 nights ago. I'm getting a little excited. I'm trying not to get too excited because Satterfield has let me down the last 2 years. But we are going bowling. But I'm glad we're bowling. I want to go to the college football playoffs. I want to win the Big 12. I want that.
They're so fun to watch on offense.
Dude, their offense is unbelievable. And hopefully we'll get the Godfather back because with him not in there, it makes a huge difference. I mean, he's been in there, but not playing as much as he was. So we got to get him back. And they're playing who are they playing? Where's Brad at? He popped it in the comments. I forgot. I know I had in my head who they're playing. I see Dustin looking it up real quick. Who can find it faster? Dustin?
Baylor.
That's right. Duh. They're playing Baylor. So Baylor is all offense. They have no defense.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, if we keep them under 30, we're going to be doing pretty good. And Sorsby, I saw him. I was watching Wake Up Barstool. Sorsby is on the list for Heisman, but I mean, it's way down there.
So he's starting to get talked about a lot more across the board, like the Barstool and the college football podcast. So I've been excited to hear that too.
Oh, he's balling out, dude. He's playing good.
Yeah, he's a player, man. He's a stud.
We got some NFL talent on this team. So like I said, I'm getting excited, but I'm trying not to get too excited because I put it this way, they beat Baylor. I'm gonna be all the way in, and then they're gonna crush me like they always do, just like all my sports teams do. But anyway, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Go check them out tomorrow on Bengals and Brews, dude. And I'll have you on again some other time there.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Who day?
Who day?
All right, guys. As always, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Go follow Robert at Fantasy Bankroll. Of course, go follow my boys at Bengals and Brewers, and keep Dustin Croft a follow on Twitter. He does a great job. He's a fun guy to just sit there and talk to. But as always, thanks for watching. Brad, there you go. Oh, yeah. 35-24 Baylor. Bearcats. So try to get 35-24 Bearcats. So get that right. Sorry. I'm with you. But thanks for watching. As always, I'm a live shoot on YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch. You can follow me on all those along with Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Please follow my Substack. And if you'd like to donate, I'd appreciate it. I made it free. But yeah, if you guys want to donate some money, that'd be cool. I got 3 articles up. I'm trying to get about 3 articles up a week. Right now it's all gonna be Bengals. But we do some winter meeting stuff with the Reds. I might talk some Reds. We'll see what happens. But make sure you guys subscribe to all those. Check them all out. Comment on my reels, my TikTok, all that stuff on there because all of it's starting to really grow. I've been trying to get the reels out there, get my reach out there more, and just try to entertain people and be some thought-provoking conversations. Yeah, we'll see. Check out the podcast. We have no morning radio show, no morning local sports. So I've kind of said this. Tell your friends who don't watch my show, or if you guys want to re-listen to it, do it tomorrow morning on the podcast. It's on BeanPod, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you rate it, listen to it, like it, review it, leave a 5-star review and a comment some more Cincinnati fans to find my podcast. It's on Spotify, all that. Sports Strawberry Ice. Please go listen to it. I would greatly appreciate it.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Party Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paper patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping required. Think Party Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and more. I got them in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and more. The website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also, shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. And tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
And come join us this Sunday at the Moorline Lager House. Use the code pregame10 for $10 off for the all-inclusive event down there. We got DJ down there. We're giving away prizes, usually either Cincy hats or a $10 gift card. We're also got a big one now. We are giving away this bad boy right here, a T. Higgins signed autographed helmet. Now, the way to register is, of course, go to the pregame experience and get your tickets. That will automatically enter you. Also, you can go to the Moorline website and get on their membership program. It's all free. Just get on there. You can get on it twice. If you have any more questions, go to my Facebook page. Go to Moorline Lager House Facebook page. It's on my Twitter. We will be giving away the helmet November 23rd. So make sure you guys come on out. I hope you come out this Sunday. We have an absolute blast down there. It is downstairs. We're out in the beer garden. We got a DJ going on there. We got beer pong. We got cornhole. We got football toss. We're just eating, drinking, and having a great time and rooting the Bengals on. And we got a good shot at winning again this week, so we'll see what happens. Other than that, remember one thing and one thing only. That is Who Day for life. And remember, throw it up. That's just sports, baby. See ya!
Another great show. You guys still here? The show's over. You can come back tomorrow. I'm out of here. See ya.